Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another full face using only one brand video. Today's video has been very highly requested and I did actually mention that I was going to be doing it maybe a month ago. I can't remember. It's Colourpop. We're doing a full face of Colourpop Cosmetics. If you are not familiar with this brand, it's a very, very popular, hyped up brand all over social media and it's also very, very, very affordable. Most of their eyeshadow palettes are about $15. Their single eyeshadows are $5. Most of their lip products are $5. It's extremely affordable and from everything that I've tried in the past, it's usually very high quality, especially for the price. But yeah, in front of me, I've got a whole stack of Colourpop products. Some are new things that I haven't yet tested. We've got the brand new matte blur primer. This one's only literally like just released days ago. So yeah, we're going to be trying that one. Also got their new setting spray. I've got their best selling eyeshadow palette, a bunch of the Super Shock shadows, like a whole bunch of stuff that I'm really, really excited to try out, plus some old faves. So yes, we're just going to hang out, play with Colourpop. So if you want to see me do a full face using all Colourpop products, then please keep on watching. And obviously, if you are new here, it would mean so much to me if you could hit the subscribe button and join our family. Yes. I'm going to stop rambling. Let's get into it. So like I said, first up, we've got their brand new primer. So this is the Matte Plus Blur Primer, All-Star Primer. It says it will give you smooth, even skin and a matte finish that lasts all day long. Ooh, it actually smells really, really yummy. And it feels like quite... Oh, okay, that definitely... Okay, so this is similar to the Becca... Stay Matte, All Matte, High Matte, something matte. I can't remember the name of that primer, but it's a primer with a formula that's kind of very difficult to apply. You basically have to press it into the skin because on contact with the skin, it turns into like a real sticky, like it mattes down so fast. I would say that this primer, like the way that it's feeling as I'm applying it, it feels very similar to that. It's liquidy when it first comes out of the package, but then it sticks onto the skin really quickly. Yeah, it smells really nice. It's like a really nice fresh scent, but if you were to kind of put it on and then rub, it would ball up in the same way that that Becca one does. Evermatte? Is it Becca Evermatte? I can't remember for the life of me. I should stop being lazy and just get up and go and look. But you know, the lazy life, it calls my name. All right, we're going to be using the Colourpop No Filter Foundation. I've spoken about this foundation in the past. I did do a full review and wear test, and unfortunately, didn't work so good on my oily skin, but it is the only foundation that Colourpop makes, so I'm going to be using it. And I mean, it doesn't look too bad when you apply it firsthand. And maybe it'll work better, you know, in conjunction with an actual Colourpop primer. I don't know. I get a lot of comments from people, you know, I can't believe you're testing a foundation without using it with a primer from the same brand. I personally just don't believe in that. You should be able to buy a foundation and use it with whatever primer that you've got at home. Like, you shouldn't have to spend twice the money to get it to work. Like, a product should be good and should perform well off its own feet. Does that make sense? One thing I will say is I'm actually having quite a bit of trouble blending this foundation with a kabuki brush on top of that primer because it is such a matte, like really, really super matte textured primer. It's not blending that well, so I'm going to switch to a beauty blender. It's like it's causing it to stick in certain areas and it's not blending out properly. So this primer may be a sponge foundation situation only. Oh, I think Brandon just got home. I can hear him talking to Georgie. Yep, I was right. It blends much better with a sponge on top of that primer. Like, I have tested this foundation like a couple of other times, you know, when I've just been, you know, not filming, just on any other days. You are able to apply it with a brush. Like, I've never had that sort of sticking issue, so it's definitely related to the primer. All right, so things are looking pretty blended now, and we're going to zoom in and work on the eyebrows and then the eyes. All right, so I've got two brow products to try here. I've got the Colourpop Brow Pencil. I've got it in the shade Black and Brown. And I've got the Colourpop Brow Color in the color Black and Brown as well. I think this is like a cream. It's like a pomade. I guess it's meant to be similar to the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. Oh, yes. I do remember this from my haul. The color of it in the actual pot is very different to the Black and Brown pencil. Like, this one's way lighter and way warmer. I mean, I'm still going to give it a go, but... oh, I'm not liking the look of it from like based on that. So I've just taken a very small amount of it and I've put it on my brush, and then I'm going to use the inside of the lid to get rid of the excess. I don't like to go in too much, especially with gel products for brows, because you just end up like looking angry straight away. Oh, that actually, there you go. That looks like a completely different color when it's on the skin. Look at the color of it in my brow here. It looks quite black compared to what it looks like in the pot. That's so weird. See guys, don't ever judge a book by its cover. It's quite a creamy formula, very soft. It's certainly a lot softer in my opinion than the Anastasia one. So I'm doing pretty much what I always do with cream gel products. I go into the pot, get the product out, remove the excess on the brush, then go into the brow sort of in this center section here, because you don't want to start at the start of the brow. That's how you get this sort of faded ombre effect. You put the majority of the product in the tail and the arch of the brow, and then whatever's left on your brush, you can actually just softly fill in the head of the brow. Just avoids that like really scary like, oh, Sharpie brow look. I'm going to call it Sharpie brow. I actually really like this. It is very soft and emollient. It'll be interesting to see how it dries down. But as far as actually using it, it works really well. I'm shocked about the color too. It is so red and warm toned in the pot. Completely cool tone on my eyes. Like it looks like it's a really, really nice color on my eyes. That is bizarre. Okay, trying out the pencil now. Double-ended, you've got your spoolie at one end and then the actual pencil at the other end. It's a very, very fine pencil, very small. Oh, the pencil's nice too, oh my goodness. So I've said before, and I'll say it again, I'm very fussy with brow pencils. I don't like it when they're like too soft and creamy, because again, it just makes them really hard to work with and you end up with way too much product, and it's hard. I don't like things that are hard work. Let's see how it goes when you comb it through. Oh my gosh, look. It's very, very easy to create like an ombre effect with it. Huh. So based on initial application alone, these are really good, but yeah, I'm interested to see how they actually last throughout the day. They're going to smudge or are they going to break down with my oil? We're going to find out. All right, so brows are all done, and I've just quickly tied my hair up because it's driving me absolutely nuts. Now, Colourpop don't appear to make an eyeshadow base, so we're actually going to be using their concealer to prime our eyes. So this is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. I actually do really, really like this formula. Very creamy, very pigmented, and just, it wears amazingly throughout the day. I've got two shades here. I've got light 16 and medium 26. I'm going to use medium 26 to prime my eyes, and we might mix them both later to highlight and things. So just applying it. Oh. Hello. That got serious very quickly. And I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend that in. Now, this is the part I'm really excited about. I've got two eyeshadow palettes here and a bunch of their Super Shock shadows. That's such a tongue twister. I always mess that up. So first up, I've got the Colourpop Fortune palette. This is a really pretty... it's got like warms and purples and rose golds and things in it. It's a really, really pretty palette. So I think we might, you know, try some of the shadows out of this one. And I've also got the Colourpop Yes Please palette. Now this is an all warm tone palette, and this is actually their best selling eyeshadow palette ever. I double checked the website before, and there's this huge banner at the start saying this is their best selling eyeshadow palette ever. So yeah, I think we'll use a mixture of these. And then I've got some of the Super Shock shadows in some amazing colors, so I'm going to try these out too. Okay, starting out with the Yes Please palette, I'm going to take this shade here. This is just like a buff nude bone sort of shadow. I'm going to use it to set down that concealer on my lids. Ooh, it's nice and pigmented. This one doesn't have like a shimmery sort of champagne color in it. That's one thing. So if you're someone who likes to, you know, highlight your brow bone and your inner corner and things, you'll just have to use your highlighter. Okay, we've arrived. Next up, I'm going to take this shade here. This is called Big Cocktails, I think. Yep, it's like a pretty coral kind of color. Big Cocktails. The bigger the better, honey. Just on a fluffy blending brush. And I'm going to work that through the crease as a transition color. Oh, wow. Okay, that is really nice formula. Blends out very easily, feels very smooth. It's not gathering or patching in any areas. That is nice. All right, so I'm just building up that color. I'm dipping into the palette and then, you know, coming in and blending. It's honestly, it's so beautifully formulated. It's so smooth. I like it. Okay, going into the Fortune palette now. I think I'm going to take this shade here and a little bit of this one. So this is 500. Yep. And this here is Trove. And yeah, I'm going to mix them and sort of use them to deepen up the crease even further. I know that there will be some comments saying, can you please do something other than warm tones to the crease? I totally get that. And I have got a lot of really cool different eye looks coming up. But because of the nature of these two palettes, we're kind of stuck today. So yeah, hopefully you still like it. But yeah, I have to use what I've got and I don't have that much Colourpop. Wow. These blend out really, really nicely. The mattes in this are gorgeous. Some of the shimmers in this are really pretty too. Like, look at this one, this one, this one, this one. How nice do they look? The shimmers in the Yes Please palette look gorgeous as well. Let's swatch some of them. Look at this orange shimmer. Oh my gosh. Butter cake. Oh, hello. Bling. Oh. Colourpop, you're actually killing me. Okay, going back into the Yes Please palette, I'm going to pick up French Kiss, which is like a really rich chocolate brown. Oh, look at it. A little bit of fallout, but beautiful pigmentation. I'm going to pack this on both the inner and outer corners of my eyes. Oh my god, that is such a nice colour. I will come back and blend these, but I like to kind of get the shadow sort of where I want it first and then come back in with a blending brush later. And then on a much smaller brush, is this the right side? Yes, I'm putting it on the inner corners as well. All right, now that that's done, I'm taking a little bit of that shadow on like a smaller blending brush and I'm gonna buff out the edges. The shadow's kind of disappearing when you blend it. Going a bit patchy, that one. I'll try and put a bit more on in the outer corners, but it has gone like patchy here and here. So back in, like it definitely layers, but you can kind of see like a little bit of redness poking through. I'll try and blend again, taking the same color on a blending brush now. Yeah, okay, so that's really odd. When you blend out this darker colour, it goes patchy on the lids. Like, see, hopefully you can see there's like patchiness just there. Like, I love the colour. It's a really, really pretty colour, but not good for blending. So what you'll have to do, I mean, to make it work, is first blend, go back in and pack, to cover up the patchiness. But even at this point, I couldn't guarantee that this would stay non-patchy because I imagine as you move and talk and stuff during the day that patchiness is going to return as the shadow moves around. I'm going to take Strike It, which is the deep shade from this other palette, and see if the same thing happens. Because it might just be that French Kiss shade. Yeah. It's looking less patchy now. Same thing is happening. So yeah, that's the tea on the deep shadows in these palettes. They do go patchy when you blend. So first blend, then pack on the colour, and yeah, like it gets rid of it, but we'll test to see whether it goes patchy during the day. It's a shame because the colours are beautiful, like literally gorgeous. All right, coming back in with the blending brush, I'm going to blend the edges. Now this is the same colour that we started the look off with. So yeah, that looks very patchy. Just sort of like through the top of the crease there. And you know what, it could be something as simple as the fact that I have used the Colourpop concealer to prime my eyes. I'm typically not like a concealer to prime my eyes kind of gal. I'll test them again, but yeah, it's not a deal breaker for me because they're very, very, very affordable eyeshadow palettes, but the deeps are a little patchy. Now moving forward, we're going to try some of the Super Shock shadows now. I've got a few of them and I can't choose. Look at this amazing copper colour. Rose gold. Oh, how does one decide? terrified. This is like a really pretty shimmery pinky gold. I think we'll use that on the center of the lids and maybe as well with a little bit of tassel, which is like this shimmering white. Okay, I'm going to use a finger to apply this because I know from past experiences this is the best way to use these shadows. Oh! So applying that Super Shock to the center of the lid. Oh, that is a nice colour. And just tapping that on, building it up. Oh, I really like that colour. You know what? This applied over like a white base. Oh my goodness, it would be epic. And then coming back in and blending. I've got this other one here, Birthday Cake. This is like similar shade but a little bit lighter. I'm going to try this right in the center. I don't think it really makes too much of a difference. Blending through the lower lash line now. I'm just repeating the same colours. And then we're going to finish with the inner corner and the brow bone. Now for eyeliner, I'm going to use the Colourpop Cream Gel Colour. This is in the shade Swerve. This is the like plain black one. I've used this a bunch of times now. It's actually become one of my favourite gel eyeliners. The formula is really, really, really nice. Creamy and super black. Now, I don't think I'm going to do a wing today. I think I'm just going to sort of tight line. And then I'm going to go in with some mascara and some lashes off camera because Colourpop doesn't have any mascara. It's weird, like I googled Colourpop mascara and I could see it on Google, but then on the Colourpop website I can't find it anywhere. So I don't think it exists anymore. I'm also super impressed with the fact that this eyeliner doesn't smudge or transfer as well, which is pretty uncommon for an eyeliner that's so cheap. They typically like always are really like smudgy. All right, I'm gonna finish this and then lashes and mascara off camera and then we'll be back to work on the skin. All right, so eyes are done. We're gonna move back onto the skin. I am really happy with how the eyes turned out. I gotta tell you though, I've had this foundation on for literally what, maybe 30 minutes. It's already going gross on my skin there. You know, using that primer hasn't helped. You would have seen, oh, I don't like, I'm touching it and it's going weird. You would have seen in my review video that it caked, separated, went really, really yuck. Same thing is happening and it's only been 30 minutes. So that's not great. My skin just looks really gross and textured, but full face of Colourpop, so moving on. Taking the Colourpop No Filter Concealer again. I might mix the medium in with a tiny little bit of the light, you know, for highlighting purposes. It's just so creamy. It just like spreads easily and oh, I just love it. Over my nose, I'm gonna low-key use it to sort of cover up what's happening with the foundation. I'm hoping that will help my situation. I'm hoping. And then with the light, I'm gonna pop it sort of just little bits to use as a highlight as well. Okay, and now we blend. Now I've spoken about this concealer before. Like I said, really, really love it. It's such a nice formula. I don't like it better than like my Holy Grails. So, you know, Tarte Shape Tape, certainly not the new Too Faced Born This Way full coverage or super coverage. That is like my holy grail of holy grails. I absolutely love that concealer. Like, I wouldn't say that it stacks up to those in particular or like the MAC Pro Longwear concealer, but you know, certainly for a more affordable concealer, like it's gorgeous. It looks really nice and smooth on the skin. I like her a lot. Okay, looking highlighted. Moving on to powder. I've got two here. And these are two that I've never actually tried. So I've got the Colourpop No Filter Setting Powder. This is the loose version, but in the shade Banana. I did try the translucent and wasn't a fan. And the Colourpop No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder in the shade Medium. Okay, so this is the No Filter Pressed Powder in the shade Medium. I'm going to use this to set the majority of my face. And then this is the No Filter in Banana. Obviously, we use banana powders like under the eyes and through the center of the face to highlight. So we're going to give this one a go. The translucent just, I feel like it left texture on top of my skin. Like it just, it didn't work. As far as banana powder goes, this one is really yellow. So I'm sure this will be interesting. Oh, it is really yellow. Oh, I'm kind of scared to use it. Can you, hopefully the camera is actually showing up how yellow that is. That's like extremely yellow, but I'm gonna apply it. I'm getting rid of most of the excess on the back of my hand because it is so yellow and I'm kind of like, oh, will it work? It looks similar on the skin to the translucent one, but I'm actually finding that it is deepening the shade of the concealer because it is so yellow. It's not actually lifting or correcting in any way because of the color. Like, this stuff is yellow. This is like more yellow than any other banana powder I've ever used. Oh my gosh, that's made my chin go so yellow now. We're gonna stamp away from that. Going into the pressed one, I'm typically not the hugest fan of pressed powders because I like to be able to use them with a blending sponge. But for the purposes, we're going to go in and still pick it up with a sponge. It's not the most sanitary method. I do regularly spritz my makeup with isopropyl alcohol though to keep it like clean and germ free. I'm a germ freak, okay? It's from spending majority of my life working in the medical field. You should see me wash my hands like surgical hand scrub every time. Yes. So applying this with a sponge, this is actually doing a really nice job of removing some of that texture. Like it's setting it all down quite nicely. It's removing shine. I didn't expect it, but at this point I actually kind of like it more than the loose one. Like the original loose translucent that I tried a few weeks ago. Normally, like for me, pressed powders, I'm just like, well, nah, unless it's like a touch-up powder that I keep in my handbag. Or the Rimmel one. I love the Rimmel one, but that actually, no, I don't hate it as much as I thought I would. I'm going to go in with a brush and just see how it goes with a brush as well. I don't like it with a brush. It leaves texture with a brush, but with a sponge, really nice. Okay, moving on to cheekies. Got a couple of cheek products here, some Super Shock products. I've also got this palette. I have actually tried this before, but Colourpop does do like pressed powder bronzers and blushes. So I've got the Knockout blush and pressed powder. Oh, it's a highlighter. Oh, it's not a bronzer. It's a blush. Crap. BRB. Crap. Okay, that is really annoying. I do have somewhere a pressed powder bronzer from Colourpop. Can't for the life of me find it anywhere, and this is definitely a blush and a highlight. Let me check the Colourpop website quickly. Yeah, they've definitely got pressed powder bronzers on their website. I don't have one, guys. Well, I mean, I did, but I don't know where it is, so I'm going to have to quickly put on bronzer from another brand. I'm so sorry. I really, really thought that this was a bronzer. Like, I should have opened it before I started filming. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm a little bit more bronzy. Let's move on with the actual Colourpop product. I do also have these Super Shock cheek products here. This one here is Drop of a Hat, and this is like a really pretty like duochrome pretty as blush color. I'm going to use a little bit of this one here. So like I said, this is the palette in the color Knockout, not the Knockout. Alright, applying this. Yeah, see the powder formula is gorgeous. I remember this one. It is quite an orange color, this one, but obviously they come in like a bunch of different colors. So putting that on, and I'm going to go over the top with a little bit of this one, just a tiny amount. This is the most magical, like, oh, so soft and smooth. And as you work it into the skin, it turns into like a powder. It doesn't stay like this sort of soft texture. So putting that over the top, it gives the skin like a really pretty sheen. It's really nice. And then finally, we're going to finish the cheeks off with the Super Shock cheek in the color Flexitarian. I have used this one before and it's so pretty. So pretty. So I like to use like a duo fiber synthetic brush. And kind of like, you rub this into the skin as opposed to like brushing on a traditional highlighter. But you'll see as it works into the skin, it just looks, oh, it highlights without it bringing texture. It highlights without bringing powderiness. I love these. Oh my God, it's so nice. A little bit on my nose, a little bit bridge of my nose, a little bit on my Cupid's bow. Just a little bit everywhere, really. I'm also going to add a tiny little bit of this one to my brow bone. Oh, love. Love. All right, moving on to lips. I do have a couple of options to try here, but I think that I want to try the formula of these lipsticks. So these are their, oh, I can't even remember the name of them. It's like they're bullet lipsticks. They're in beautiful rose gold packaging with stars all over them. And I remember from watching them in the Colourpop haul video. By the way, if you haven't seen that one, I'll link it down below. But it's just from swatching, it's the most amazing pigmented creamy formula. I'm really excited to try it. And I also really like this color here. So this is the shade Big Break and it is a matte. And I'm going to pair that with the lip pencil in the color Contempo. It's a really pretty deep pink color. The Colourpop lip pencils and lippy sticks are something that I've been raving on about for the longest time. They're just the most amazing formula and they're so cheap. But this is the part I'm really excited for. Going in with the lipstick now because this is something I haven't tried. Okay. Oh my gosh. Works very, very well with the lip liner. It's nearly like a perfect match. Super pigmented. It's super creamy, but it does also feel really, really lightweight. Like, I can feel that it's matte, but it doesn't feel like a traditional matte lipstick. Like, it feels very, like, airy. Does that even make sense? I don't know. I really, really like it, and I really like that color. Pretty. And then finally, to finish, we're going in with the setting spray. So this is the Colourpop All Star Face Setting Spray. It doesn't really say too much about it on the back, but obviously the idea is it improves the longevity of your makeup. So shake me up gently, hold at arm's length, and spray. What's the spritzer like? Oh, she's good. Oh, it smells good. Kind of smells like essential oils. Yum. Okay. Oh, that is a really, really enjoyable scent. Very, very light. Kind of smells like a day spa. Pretty. Okay, well, this is the finished look, guys. I'm really happy with how everything turned out. Definitely applying that pressed powder on the sponge. It's definitely helped with a lot of that texture that was on my skin. I mean, by all means, my skin doesn't look as nice as it normally does, but you guys already know that I'm not a fan of that foundation. So yeah, probably standout products like the Super Shock shadows, love them. The Super Shock cheek products, love them. I already knew that. The concealer I love, I already knew that. Not sure how the primer's gonna go, not sure how the setting spray is gonna go. Absolutely adore this lipstick. But yes, I'm gonna be wearing this makeup look for the rest of the day, and I will of course update you all down below in the description bar and let you know if any of the products were like an epic fail throughout the day. I've said before, like, Colourpop is really, really good quality, especially for the price. You can't go wrong with the eyeshadows, the cheek products, the lipsticks. Not sure if I'd recommend any of the complexion products at this stage other than the concealer, but like these shadows for $5, like honestly, you can't go wrong. So that's it for the video today, guys. Please let me know if you did enjoy it. I do have a bunch more Colourpop products. You know, I could probably do several full faces of Colourpop if you were interested in seeing them. I'm also really keen on doing like a Colourpop lip swatch video as well. I feel like that would be really good. I feel. So yes, if you're interested in seeing those videos, please let me know in the comment section down below. Give the video a thumbs up. And yes, have a great rest of your day. I hope you're all having fun, whatever you're doing. Let me know what you're doing in the comments as well. And I'll talk to you all in my next video. Bye!